Hey, how's it going? This is Melinda and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be discussing the question, why have used records gotten so expensive? This is a question that just really came to me today while I was out record shopping. I'll show you the record that inspired this question, and I'm just going to discuss with you reasons that I and the record store owner talked about today while I was out there. And also I've got some very cool Led Zeppelin records, just very unusual, very different, and I'm looking forward to showing you those. First off, I have to say, look at this shirt, the Beatles. This is a really cool shirt, and it's got an interesting backstory. Beatle Brad wore this on one of his videos, and Matthew Street saw it and loved it. He asked Beatle Brad where he got it, and he got it from Hot Topic. And so then Matthew Street wore it on his channel and told us he got it at Hot Topic. And then I saw it and fell in love with it, and I had to order it from Hot Topic. So this is a different kind of thread. It's not a vinyl thread, it's a t-shirt thread. So anyway, it's great to see Beatle Brad and Matthew Street, and now I have this wonderful t-shirt. You know, I had not purchased anything from Hot Topic since my daughter was a teenager. Felt a little weird, but you know, I love this shirt and happy to have it. Let's go ahead and get started. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you just click the subscribe button. And anyway, I would really appreciate your support. And let's go ahead and get started by showing you this. This is something I just saw at the record store, Billy Idol's Rebel Yell. A fantastic record that has a million memories for me. You know, as a teenager, I hang out with my best friend. My best friend had a boyfriend that basically from 8th grade on, they got married. They're still married, you know, but anyway, I was their third wheel. I never had a boyfriend with me. We would just all three go out cruising around town in her boyfriend's truck. The cassette for Billy Idol's Rebel Yell was in there. It was a staple for us, so every song brings back a really cool memory. And I saw this, I already had a reissue. As you can see in the background, I bought a reissue very early on in record collecting because I just never saw this one out in the wild. And here it is, it's got this really cool hype sticker. It's still in the shrink. The record is in pristine condition. So, you know, because it's such a special record for me, I picked this up today. But it was $14. And this is what I would call a pretty basic record. It's not extremely hard to find. There's nothing extremely extravagant about it at all. It's just $14. Other than it's in just such excellent condition. And you do pay more for records that are in good condition. But it just kind of got me to thinking. So anyway, as you can see, if you look at this reissue up here in this turquoise versus royal blue, that's really the only difference on the cover. And let me show you the vinyl. Like the cover, my original has this turquoise blue color, and the record on the reissue is royal blue. And I gave them both a listen because, of course, I wanted to compare and see what I thought sounded the best. And even though I thought it was extremely close, if I had to give the nod to one of them, I would give it to the original, only because when I was listening to the song Flesh for Fantasy, I thought the original had a little more air in the sound. It was a little more airy. And I'm not a musician, so I don't know what the exact term is, but I just know that that song, one of the things that makes it so great is there's like an airy quality to it, and this one had a little bit more of that. But you know, if I hadn't bought this one, the reissue was great. I would have never known the difference. So I'm happy to have that, but I'm also kind of surprised that I paid $14 for something that, you know, back when I first started collecting records, I would go to a place back in 2014 where they had 3 for $5 for your staples, you know, like Boston. Not this particular copy of Boston, but Boston was 3 for $5. Or Journey, again, a staple for 3 for $5. Here's another Journey album that was, you know, 3 for $5. And, you know, I would do that all the time. And now here's one too. 3 for $5. However, nowadays, when you want to buy this one, you're looking at $10 to $15. I saw this Journey album the other day for $14. You know, just records that I took for granted back in the day that I could get for a buck, a couple dollars, just no big deal at all. And the cost are, you know, the price has gone way, way up on those. And not to mention here, the Beatles records, you know, they're not going out of print. There's plenty of Beatles records to go around, and yet the vinyl keeps going up in price on these. And there's plenty of them. They're not scarce. So it just kind of made me curious when I bought this record. I just decided to ask the local record store owner, Tommy. He has a record store called TD's Tough Decisions. I don't have a lot of record stores where I live anymore. Our record store hard copies moved. So I just asked him, why are we paying so much for used vinyl records these days? I told him, no offense, you know, I understand you have to make a living, but I was just curious as to why. And of course, he pointed out vinyl has made a resurgence, and because it is popular and it is in demand, you know, it's going to cost more than it did when people were trying to get rid of it. You know, in the good old days, you could probably buy it for $0.25 to $1. People just wanted to get out of their garage. They wanted to get it out of their attic, and they were just getting rid of stuff. Well, now people know that these records are highly desirable. He said that people that come in, they do their research. They know what people are paying for these records on eBay, or at least what people are asking for them on eBay. They're also, you know, just not bringing things in like they used to. He said it is a matter of people deciding when he can't pay them what they want for it. They go and sell it on eBay or Discogs or a Facebook marketplace. Also, he said that one of the reasons the price has gone up was that the labor that's involved. He said, you know, the other day somebody brought in 75 records and he had to look through every single one of them, and only 2 of them were sellable. You know, condition-wise, they just weren't in great condition. And he's just having to spend more time finding collections. That's also has to factor in, you know, when he's putting in hours and hours of time, he has to be able to pay his bills and make up for the time that he's doing that. And also, one of the things he pointed out to me, in the bottom line, he is a used record store. He doesn't get new records in. And he just kind of pointed out, you know, if you're an antique collector, and let's say you're looking for Coca-Cola memorabilia, you know, you find a $75 antique Coca-Cola cooler versus a newer reproduction. You know, what are you going to choose? You know, a lot of people still want these old vintage records, and they're willing to pay more money for them. I just made a video about why I am now onto and love reissues. However, he's pointing out that the people that come into his store love the history. You know, I showed this Fleetwood Mac record. It's yellowed because it's been around for a while. It's yellowed with years. A lot of people still love the idea of having the vintage records, you know, but it's getting harder and harder to find records that are in really good condition for the years. And also, as we speak every single day, people who don't know these records are selling for a lot of money, are throwing away records when they're just trying to get rid of extra clutter in their house. Records are sitting in the sun and getting destroyed. So originals like this, even though there's a ton of them, we're losing some of those every single day. So those are the reasons he discussed and what I thought why used vinyl is getting so expensive. I thought it was a really interesting subject to discuss, and I totally understand. These record store owners are not trying to rip us off. They have to recoup what they paid for a record, and then they have to make a profit so that they can pay their bills and support their families. So it makes sense to me. And if you all know of other reasons why vinyl has gone up substantially in price, please let me know in the comments below. And now I'm going to go ahead and move on to the very cool Led Zeppelin records. They were given to me. Don't tell anybody, but they were a VCLT given to me by Brian in Tennessee. And they're just really cool. Let me show you this. This is a copy from Spain. It's in really good shape. It's very clean. It's a little bit of a thinner stock. A lot of times when they come from other countries, they're a thinner stock. And this particular copy is on a colored vinyl. And it has the Spanish language on this particular record, and it's on blue vinyl. I'm thinking it's probably unofficial, but I'm not 100% sure. But I think this is an unofficial press, but it's still really cool. Brian did tell me he didn't think the record sounded really great, but I gave him a listen, and I guess because he told me they didn't sound very good, I thought they sounded better. So maybe low expectations helped with that. Here is Led Zeppelin II, and I really love this one. I have the Robert Ludwig hot mix of this. This doesn't sound like the Robert Ludwig hot mix. Here again, we have a little bit of a thin stock, but a very clean copy. However, it's very cool, and I'm assuming this one is probably another vinyl record from Spain, but this one does have English writing on it, so you can read the titles. And it is on a really cool cornflower blue. It's got a little bit of a streak to it. It's just a really pretty colored vinyl, and it's a pretty thick record. I'd say it's 180 gram. Then we can move on to Led Zeppelin Ii. This one does not have the spinning wheel on it. It's just another really clean looking record. And we've got the, well, if you look at it, different language. And this one is in pressing from Israel. But the label, yeah, the label has different, I can't read it, it's in a different language, but it's a hot pink, really cool looking record from Israel. So I thought that was very cool. I really do like that one. And then we have the Untitled Led Zeppelin, what we call Led Zeppelin IV. It has a faux hype sticker. It's not a real hype sticker. It's actually on the album. Another flimsy cover, but this one is in English. You can read everything. And I'm thinking this is from Spain as well, but like I said, I'm not 100% sure. Discogs does have some of these on here, and some of them they don't. They're probably unofficial, but they're very cool and very pretty to look at. So thank you so much, Brian from Tennessee. I appreciate that, and I really do love these. So that is my video for this week. Please let me know if you have any information about these Led Zeppelin albums. I would love to hear what you have to say and to just get more information about them. And also the topic about how used records have gone up in value. If you have any other reasons, just please let me know. And please subscribe to my channel. So I will see you next time. Thank you and take care. Bye-bye.